The Little Mermaid is a story that Disney has decided to retell that was originally a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale from, I believe it was 1837, that portrayed mermaids as sirens that would lure sailors to danger. And in the original Hans Christian Andersen tale, it was about a story of a mermaid who basically gave up everything so that she could have human legs and live on land. Now, that story sounds a little dark and foreboding, at least a little bit. And Disney decided to take the idea of mermaids, which up until this point had always been almost like a siren type creature, or maybe even a little bit intense. They made it a lot sweeter. I mean, she's basically a Gen Y character that is sassy and sweet and just kind of silly, but I want to kind of get into a little bit more of this movie. This movie came out in 1989. It is the story of one of King Triton's daughters. He has 7 in all. His 7 daughters are Atina, Alana, Adela, Aquata, Arista, Adrina, and Ariel. And the story that we're going to be talking about that the movie is based on is Ariel. Now, she is a 16-year-old mermaid who has a definite attitude and wants to do things her way. She's rebellious. She basically anything that King Triton tells her to do, she basically does the opposite. And she's got some friends that kind of help her along the way. Sebastian is more of kind of the king's assistant that tries to keep Ariel in check. And then she, of course, she has Flounder, who is pretty much her best friend in fish form. The whole kind of thing is that she swims up to the surface and she sees this ship and she falls head over heels, love at first sight, in love with the prince on board. Unfortunately, because of a bad storm that they're in, the ship ends up going down and she saves the prince and manages to get him to shore. Well, as she's singing to him as he's just coming back to consciousness, that memory kind of sticks in his head a little bit. So she kind of goes back, could have anything. It's that she wants to live on land with him. She would literally give up anything and everything to do so. And that's kind of where the story gets interesting. King Triton's sister, Ursula, is the sea witch. And so Ariel goes to her, wants to know what she has to do to get some legs. Because, I mean, honestly, the tail's not going to work real well on land. But what Ursula wants in exchange for the legs is she wants Ariel's voice. And so she gives her the task of getting true love's kiss from the prince within a short period of time to basically to be able to keep her legs basically forever. And so the transformation happens. Ariel gets to go up on land. It becomes an adventure from that point of her just kind of getting used to things on land and how much different it is from being in the sea. And she's trying everything that she can do to get true love's kiss, but she's going to need a little bit of help along the way because somebody that's watching her from down below realizes or sees that she's getting too close to achieving her goals with this whole thing of kissing the prince. They kind of throw a wrench in the mix and cause a hiccup in the whole story, and in doing so, they put Ariel at risk for not only not keeping her legs, but also losing, or King Triton losing her under the water. And so if you can imagine, the story kind of gets a little bit twisty and curvy, and it kind of goes a little bit of a different direction than you might think, but it does have a happy ending. If you haven't already seen this one, I won't ruin the ending for you, but I will say that there is a wedding involved. You'll just have to wait and see if they're going to be above the water or underneath of it. So after all, one of the biggest songs in the movie is called Under the Sea, but I'll just let your imagination run with that one. But yeah, this one's going to be a classic Disney cartoon. It's got a lot of fun. It's definitely aimed at more of the teenage crowd, considering Ariel is 16 and just very rebellious, and you don't understand me, and the whole teenage angst and all this kind of attitude that goes with that. No, Daddy, you just don't understand me type attitude. And yes, I'm being overly dramatic just for the fun of it. I hope you can get a little bit of a laugh out of that as well as I can. But I did give The Little Mermaid a 6.5 out of 10 on the deputy scale. I also gave it a rating of innocent. And just as a refresher course, in case you're unfamiliar with some of our Sorry about the crash. Some of my cats are in the office here with me, and we just had an avalanche of some stuff here in my office, but so as it goes. The innocent just means that it's safe for 12 and below, or basically all ages approved. And guilty means it's recommended for 13 and above, or if it needs further clarification than that, I usually go into a little bit more detail on that as it goes. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna be singing the songs long after the credits and everything are done. But yeah, this is a character that Disney has brought forth that will carry on for years to come.